Good afternoon. We hope you're having a great Tuesday. We have some good stuff in store for you today. We are acknowledging and celebrating National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So we decided to talk about suicide this segment and bring some light to some common misconceptions surrounding suicide. If this is something sensitive or upsetting to you, feel free to take a break. Join us not next week, but the week after, because we're also going to be talking about suicide next week as well. So in our first segment, we're going to talk about our current events. And we have Ashley joining us. Do you have some good information for us today?
I do. Thank you, Jessica. In September, we have a variety of programs and classes starting, some for family members of individuals living with mental health conditions and those that are living with mental health conditions. So let me talk first about family to family and friends. Both are classes where family and loved ones learn about how to support their loved ones living with a mental health condition and also how to take care of themselves. Family to family is an in-depth class. It goes for 8 weeks every Monday, so there's 8 sessions. And then family and friends is a more brief presentation that is about 2 hours in length. So if you're interested in those programs, you can see that family to family starts on the 21st and family and friends is on the 16th. We also have our peer-to-peer program. It's another one of our classes that's multiple sessions. It starts on September 14th, and this is where those living with mental health conditions can learn more about their recovery and their process to stay healthy and happy. Great. So I have all those class dates listed there on the PowerPoint, and I will make sure to include in the comments the link to all of our program details. Because we're going to be talking about some sensitive subjects this week, I also want to make sure I shared with you that we are continuing all of our online support groups. I'll include the link to our schedule for online support groups so you can see what group might be of interest to you. We're going to go ahead and talk now about our AfterBurn event. AfterBurn is our annual celebration, and we are doing things a little different this year to make sure that we're promoting health and safety. This year, it's going to be a drive-through event. So you'll be able to come out to the Wood County Fairgrounds and drive through. You can purchase t-shirts or a meal to go. We're going to be handing out goodie bags and pumpkins. And as you drive through the fairgrounds, you're going to be able to visit different organizations that will have what we're calling trunk or treat stations where you can learn more about their programs and services. Leading up to the event, we're also hosting a virtual 5K. We're calling it The Burn. And so you can sign up and participate all virtually. That is everything I wanted to share about the event details. I'll make sure to include the link. And I also now am going to start sharing some of our sponsors. This week, I'm going to be discussing Fruth & Company PLL CPA. This business is a full-service accounting firm serving clients throughout Ohio, dedicated to providing our clients with professional, personalized services and guidance in a wide range of financial and business needs. To learn more about how your business or organization can become a sponsor of the AfterBurn, please visit our website. Again, I'll include that link in the comments. Thank you for coming and listening to our upcoming events. Always follow us on social or visit our website for full event details.
Hey, Ashley, you getting ready to feel the burn?
Oh, yes, definitely.
I know us BG Hartmans are.
Great.
So with suicide as our overall topic, I'm assuming you have some information for us today on suicide and in our mental health in the news segment.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some really helpful information for everyone.
Well, I'm looking forward to see what you have to share. Thanks, Bree.
No problem. So speaking openly about mental health is really important for reducing the stigma, and when famous people especially speak out, it can be really, really powerful. Pop artist Katy Perry has recently been very open about her struggles with mental health in interviews and on social media. With the release of her latest album, Smile, Katy Perry took the time during an interview to reflect on her state of mental health when she wrote some of the songs on this album. She discussed how she began to fantasize about not being about not being around and stated, "You start thinking about things like that, and if I did that, I would kind of have had the last word or have been able to control the chaos and the sadness. I'm so grateful that it didn't go there." Smile is a tribute to her moving away from those thoughts after seeking professional help. When it comes to individuals who die by suicide, it is so important to use language that is effective in reporting, not creating further stigmatization. As we saw a few years ago with Robin Williams, the media greatly impacts how his story was shared. Journalists are aware that the precise use of language is critical in shaping public perceptions, and there is a clear need for increased awareness and a healthy dialogue about suicide. How the media depicts suicide is instrumental in framing public discourse. Unlike many other forms of death, suicide carries the weight of social stigma and shame, which can lead to discrimination and prejudice against people with mental health conditions. As discussed a few weeks ago, it is important to avoid criminalizing suicide by using the word commit. Consideration that the family of the person who died by suicide is grieving and may be struggling with intense feelings of sadness and guilt is vital for media reporting. I hope this conversation has given our listeners a glimpse into how language and portrayal of conversations or experiences in the media impacts individuals. Whether it's sharing someone's story about their struggles or sharing the tragic loss of a life, the words we use matter. Back to you, Jessica.
Thanks, Bree. Robin will surely be missed. I'm glad that we have celebrities that have decided to use their platform to talk about mental health conditions and suicide.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bree. Shari is sharing some good quotes in our What Does NAMI Mean to Me segment today. Take it away, Shari.
Today, instead of direct quotes, I will be sharing with you some of the discussions during our support groups talking about suicide. When dealing with a mental illness, there are many symptoms people go through, physically and mentally. Brains are no different than any other part of our body. Suicidal ideation is typically normal for those living with mental illness. It is a symptom just as racing thoughts, agitation, feeling drained, overwhelmed, or worthless. We know that sneezing and itchy eyes are signs of allergies. Suicidal thoughts are signs that our brains are unwell. After realizing you are not alone in those thoughts, it is relief and not embarrassing to say it out loud. Mental illness is draining and painful at times. Sometimes it would be easier if I were gone and the pain would end, or people would be better off if I were not here. Those thoughts are telling us that it is time to reach out for help. Text for help to 741-741. Brains heal, situations change, and things look differently when our brains are well. I want to leave you with a quote from Kevin Hines. I still have suicidal thoughts, but I'm not going to let it kill me. Thank you for listening, and now back to you, Jessica.
It really does make you feel good when people feel safe enough to relate to others when talking about suicide. I know that that's a common topic that we have in our support groups. Thanks, Shari. The Did You Know segment comes to you today from Courtney. And I've lost her on my screen. She always has some great information for us today. Take it away, Courtney.
All right, thank you, Jessica. In today's Did You Know segment, we wanted to discuss suicide prevention since this month is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. There are many misconceptions surrounding suicide, including how to help someone and what to say. Today, I want to talk about some common myths surrounding suicide. Myth number 1, talking about suicide or asking someone if they feel suicidal will encourage suicide attempts. The fact is, talking about suicide provides the opportunity for communication. Fears shared are more likely to diminish. The first step is encouraging a person with thoughts of suicide to live comes from talking about those feelings. A simple inquiry about whether or not the person is intending to end their life can start the conversation. However, talking about suicide should be carefully managed. Myth number 2. Marked and sudden improvement in the mental state of an attempt by an individual who is suicidal or someone who is experiencing a depressive period means that this risk of suicide is over. The fact is that the apparent lifting of problems could mean that the person has made a firm decision to die by suicide and feels better because of the decision. And myth number 3, once a young person thinks about suicide, they will forever think about suicide. The fact is, most young people who are considering suicide will only be that way for a limited period of their lives. Given proper assistance and support, they will probably recover and continue to lead meaningful and happy lives unhindered by suicidal concerns. I'd also like to note that suicide is a leading cause of death in the US, according to the CDC in 2017. However, suicide is preventable. It is important to talk about suicide, and it is okay to ask someone, are you feeling suicidal, if they are showing warning signs. At NAMI, we offer an 8-hour course called Mental Health First Aid. This shows participants about various mental health conditions, but it also teaches others to talk to someone if they are experiencing suicidal thoughts. You can visit our website if you're interested in attending this course. If you or someone you know is showing warning signs of suicide, you can dial the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. This number is scrolling across your screen. You can also check out the comments for other crisis lines that you can contact if you are in need. Remember, you don't have to struggle in silence. Help is here.
Thank you for all the information, Courtney. Kaylee, the AmeriCorps Vista worker from Wood County Animus, is in our self-care corner today. What great tips do you have for us today?
I'm happy to be back, Jessica. In honor of Robin Williams, I wanted to talk about laughter and the 3 LOL technique as a form of self-care today. This technique asks you to try and remember 3 things that made you laugh out loud at the end of every day. Laughter can help reduce stress, anxiety, and tension. It can enhance your creative thinking, improve mood, and interpersonal interaction, and reduce isolation by being a signal of safety and a sense of belonging. In the words of Robin Williams, comedy can be a cathartic way to deal with personal trauma. Remember that you are not alone. Thank you for listening to my self-care tip, and remember to laugh today.
Thank you for giving us some great tips today, Kaylee. So if you're not getting those notifications of us going live and you would like to, go to our homepage in Facebook, click on the 3 dots or ellipses on the right, click on follow settings and adjust the notifications. So I know Facebook just went through an update. We want to make sure you're getting those updates. So thank you. Adding everybody back to the screen. We hope you had a great Tuesday, and until next Tuesday, from the NAMI Wood County crew, have a good day.
Bye.